I now recognize the gentleman from California, the ranking member of our Monetary Policy Task Force, Mr. Vargas. You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank the ranking member and, of course, the witnesses here today. I think that the hearing today has been excellent, and I appreciate it very much. We did just get lectured on fiscal responsibility. I would just like to remind my good friends on the other side, they just passed their big ugly bill that added $5 trillion to the deficit with no benefit to it. But I think that, Mr. Brooks, you spoke the most truth today when you said that side has their friends and this side has our friends. I think that's very true, and I think you said the quiet part out loud, and that is they love the wealthy and the big corporations, and we love the working class of the poor. That is the truth. So I'm glad you mentioned that. By the way, Mr. O'Leary, I don't watch the show much because I don't like TV, but I always like watching you because I think you're very clever, you know, when you banter back and forth with your friends on that. And today, when you were asked a question about coal, isn't coal so great? We need coal, right? You said, yes, wherever there's gas. You know, that's where I want to build, wherever there's gas and land. Didn't answer the coal question. And I thought that was great, and he felt like he got his answer and walked away, but you didn't answer the coal question.
Yeah, I'll answer it if you want.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I can get a permit for coal, so I'm not stupid. And I'm not going to waste my time trying until you tell me I can.
Yeah.
So I'm a very simple person. How fast can I get a permit? Because what I can do is raise capital from all around the world. And if you go and try and raise $2 billion and you tell them you're going to use coal right now, the cost of capital will go up 300 basis points.
I was going to get to that because I think that's one of the things that you said is very, very true. It is actually how quickly you can get a permit. That is with housing, with anything else. You need certainty to be able to finance it. I was on the San Diego City Council for 8 years. I chaired the Land Use and Housing Committee for some time on that committee. Unless you could have a developer get certainty that they could develop, it was very hard to carry that property. So they needed certainty. People that pushed back the most, actually, were the people that lived in the community where the development was coming near to or in, because of the issue of they didn't want crowding. They wanted to protect their investment. They wanted density somewhere else, development somewhere else, not in their neighborhood. And that's a problem. I mean, that really is a problem, the zoning issue. How quickly can you get the opportunity to build? You need to have that opportunity so you can finance that project.
I don't even break the ground until the community's behind me. I don't even bother trying. You can't win that way.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Unless you have the ability to do that with zoning, where you can do it by right and you can get to it quickly, you can't finance it. The bank won't finance it. You need that ability, but you have to convince your community that development is necessary so your kids can live somewhere. And that in California means density. And it's hard to convince people of that.
I know how to do that.
Yeah, no, and I think some people do well. Most people don't, and that's why I think you need to have it by right and not by the ability of someone to charm them, but instead by zoning that does this. So you can, in fact, and in California, thank God, they're trying to change this, because there's a number of things. For example, smaller lot sizes. They don't need these gigantic lot sizes, too. Interestingly, the turn of the last century, in 1900, a single-family detached home was about 700 or 1,000 square feet. Today, it's 2,400 and bigger. You don't need these large homes. You can have smaller homes. You can do this and have a very nice community. And so anyway, I was going to add those things. The other things I'd like to say is this, that the interest rate is a problem, but I bought my house in 1979. I paid 7.2% interest on the mortgage. I still live in the home, by the way. And my parents bought their home in 1972. They paid 7%. Today, the interest rate for a single-family mortgage home is about 6.3%, 6.4%. It's actually lower than when I bought my home. The problem is this, though. I bought my house for $176,000. If you put it in an inflation calculator to try to figure out what is the cumulative interest on interest as well as inflation today, that should be about $390,000. It's not. It's $2 million. That's the problem. The actual cost of the home has risen so dramatically that you can't finance anymore because it's too damn expensive. That's why you have to have smaller lots. That's why you have to have smaller homes. That's why you have to have the ability to get those permits with some certainty so you can finance the project in the first place. That's why I think this was a very helpful meeting, and 'cause I think you guys did speak of those things. And again, I believe very much that there's been discrimination, no doubt about that. And with that, my time's over, and I yield back. Thank you.
Gentlemen, time has expired. The